Today we are going to solve Cambridge O level physics paper 5054, October number 2022, question 1, variant 2, MCQs paper. Question number 1, the diagram shows three forces acting on a block. The resultant force is 6 Newton to the right. So our resultant force is 6 Newton to the right. As we know that these two are equal to 5 Newton and 5 minus 11 will be equal to 6 Newton. So our 6 Newton toward right is the resultant force of these three forces. Which additional force produce a resultant force of 3 Newton to the left? Now we have to produce 3 Newton to the left and that would be our resultant force. So for that we have to use 6 this one and 3 that. So 6 plus 3 equal to 9. So if a 9 Newton force act on this side, then 6 will be cancelled out with this 6 Newton and 3 will be our resultant force. So 9 Newton to the left. So 9 Newton to the left make the resultant 3 Newton to the left. A teacher measures the length of her classroom. What is the most appropriate instrument to use? A 30 centimeter ruler? No. A vernier caliper? No. A micrometer? No. As we know that our classroom is more than 1 meter. So it should be our measuring tape. It should be a measuring tape. For large measurement we use a tape to measure the length. Which value is 1000 of a meter? So 1000 of a meter means 1 by 1000 of a meter, and it will be equal to 1 by 10 centimeter, because all these are in centimeter, so I am converting it into centimeter. So 1 by 100 is equal to centi, so 1 by 10 centimeter, and 1 by 10 is 0.1, so it is 0.1 centimeter. Question number 4. A car of mass 100 kg is traveling down a steep hill. The brake fails and the driver uses a horizontal sand-filled safety road to stop the car. The car enters the sand at a speed of 10 meters per second and experiences a constant stopping force of 2500 Newton. How far does the car travel in the sand before coming to rest? First of all, the mass of the car is 1000 kg. Now, when my car enters into the safety road, its energy is kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy is used against work done. Against the movement of the car. So stopping the car, this is the work done that is applied against kinetic energy of the body. So kinetic energy is equal to 1 by 2 mv square, and work done is equal to force multiplied by distance traveled by the car. So distance traveled by the car, so 1 by 2 mass is 1000, velocity is 10 square, force is 2500 Newton, and d is the stopping distance after that the car come to rest. This 2500 will be dividing on the other side, and it will be equal to 1 by 2 times 1000 into 100, 10 square 100, 2500. So 2 zeros cancel out with 2 zeros, to 1 time 200, to 500 times 1000, and 25, 20 times 50. So my distance will be equal to 20 meter. 20 meter is the distance after which car come to rest. The kinetic energy of the car is used we have to overcome that kinetic energy, so our work done will be equal to the kinetic energy of the car. A ball starts from rest and rolls down a steep slope. The ball then rolls along rough horizontal ground. Which graph shows the speed of the ball at different times? First of all, I know that if it is rolling down the slope, its speed is going to increase. So B is wrong. It could be C, it could be D, and it could be A. Now, it does not come to rest as it's moved down the steep slope. So here it is showing that it come to rest, so this one is wrong. And the after that it is moving on a rough horizontal surface or the rough horizontal ground. If it is rough horizontal ground, then there should be some resultant force. Then the speed would not be constant. So A is not possible. So what is our option? D, in which the car moving down from rest on the steep slope, its speed increases, and after that due to rough horizontal surface its speed start decreasing. But here we are not given that it come to rest, so we are using D as our answer. A block of wood is placed on a table. External force act on the block, but the block remains stationary. A student suggests the three conditions for the block to remain stationary. Condition P, the resultant force on the block must be equal to 0. Condition Q, the resultant movement on the block must be equal to 0. Condition R, the external force must act through the center of mass of the block. Which conditions are necessary for the block to remain stationary? We know that according to equilibrium, sum of all the forces and sum of all the movement acting on a body should be equal to 0. So only P and Q are the necessary conditions for the block to be at rest. Question number 7. A car travels at 60 km/h on a straight road. The road is dry. The driver applies the brake suddenly. The table shows the thinking distance, the braking distance and the stopping distance. We know that thinking distance plus braking distance is equal to stopping distance. So 27 plus 22 is equal to 49. The same car is driven by the same driver at the same speed 60 km/h on the same road when it is wet. The driver applies the brake suddenly again. What is the effect of the wet road on the thinking distance, the braking distance and the stopping distance? The thinking distance remains same. The braking distance would increase due to wetness of the road. If the road is wet, there will be less friction, so the braking distance increases. As the braking distance increases, the stopping distance also increases. So for thinking distance there will be no change, but for the braking and the stopping distance they are going to increase. So A is the right option. Question number 8. A car travels on a horizontal road around a bend at a constant speed. What is the direction of resultant force on the car? When our car is moving at the bend, it will move in a circle. And when a body is moved in a circle, the resultant force is centripetal force. And it's always directed toward the center of the body or center of the circle. So it will be center toward the center of the bend. Question number 9. A student writes two statements about mass and weight. Mass is the property of body which resists change in state of rest or motion. Yes, this is law of inertia. Weight is the amount of substance in a body? No. Weight is the force with which body is attracted toward the center of the earth. Which statements are correct? Only statement 1 is correct. Statement 2 is wrong. Question number 10. The graph shows how the extension of a spring changes with the masses suspended from it when the spring is on planet X and when the spring is on planet Y. For spring X, less mass show more extension. It means that there will be more weight. Weight is more for planet X. For planet X, weight will be more. For planet Y, for more mass, there will be less extension. It means that its weight is less for planet Y. And what is weight? Weight is equal to mg. Weight is the force with which the planet attracts the body toward its center. So which conclusion can be drawn from these graphs? So from this one I know that for planet X, G will be greater, and for planet Y, G will be lesser. Its weight is less, it means that G is less. Weight is higher, means that G is higher. It is not possible to compare the gravitational field strength. I have compared them, so option A is wrong. The gravitational field strength of X is equal to gravitational field strength of Y, which is wrong. The gravitational field strength on planet X is 1/3 of the gravitational field strength of planet Y. It means that gravitational field strength of Y is greater than X, which is wrong. The gravitational field strength of X is 3 times the gravitational field strength of planet Y. This one is true. It means that the gravitational field strength of X is greater than 3 times greater than that of Y. A student finds density of an irregular shape object. He chooses his equipment from this list: stopwatch, measuring cylinder, balance. Which equipment does the student need to use? For density, he is going to measure mass and velocity. Volume. Mass and volume. Mass is measured by using balance, and volume is measured by using measuring cylinder, because it is irregular object, and irregular object volume is measured using measuring cylinder. So he is going to use 2 and 3 only. A uniform beam is pivoted at its center. 2 weights are placed on the beam in the positions shown, and the beam is balanced by an upward force F. What is the size of F? Now, I am going to use second condition of equilibrium. Sum of all the movement acting on a body equal to 0, or you can say that sum of all the clockwise movement is equal to anti-clockwise movement. So clockwise movement should be equal to anti-clockwise movement. Clockwise movement should be equal to anti-clockwise movement. So which are clockwise and which are anti-clockwise? Clockwise, this 60 Newton is clockwise, this 30 Newton and this force, these two are anti-clockwise. So clockwise will be equal to 60 multiplied by 30. 60, and this is the distance between the pivot and the weight. Anti-clockwise, 30 multiplied by 40 plus F multiplied by 50. Sometime our student uses only this 20 centimeter, but the distance or the movement arm is from the pivot to the force, not just this 20. So it's 20 plus 30 total equal to 50. So it will be equal to 1800 is equal to 1200 plus 50F. 1200 minus 1800 will be equal to 600 divided by 50 is equal to F. 0 cancel out with 0. 512 times 60. So our force will be equal to 12 Newton. So B is the right option. Question number 13. 4 objects of equal mass rest on a table. The center of mass of each object is labeled G. Which object is least stable? The least stable has the less surface area contact with the table, or so B has less surface area in contact with the table, and its center of gravity is also higher than all of the others. So B is the least stable. For least stability, your contact area is small and your center of gravity is higher. So B is the right option. Question number 14. Each tire of a car has an area of 100 centimeters square in contact with the ground. The car has a mass of 1600 kg. The weight of the car is distributed among the 4 tires. So it has 4 tires and each tire has 100 centimeters square area contact with the ground. The gravitational field strength G is 10 Newton per kg. You have to find the pressure exerted on the ground. Pressure will be equal to force per unit area. Here force will be equal to weight, so it will be weight per unit area. So pressure will be equal to mass multiplied by gravitational field strength divided by area. W is equal to mg. So pressure will be equal to mass is 1600 multiplied by 10 and area will be equal to 4 times 100 because 4 tires are in contact with the ground, so our pressure will be distributed on all the 4 tires. So 4 times 100. 2 zeros cancel out with 2 0. 4 1 times 4. 4 times 16. 4 times 40. So pressure will be 40 Newton per centimeter square. Question number 15. A gas syringe contain a volume V1 of gas at pressure P1. The volume is reduced to V2 without any change of temperature. What is the expression for change in pressure? Pressure will be equal to P2 minus P1. Change in pressure will be equal to P2 minus P1. But here only we are getting P1 or this P1, P1, P1 or P1. But here are some other fractions. How can we find that? We can find that by using Boyle's law. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So P2 V2, we have to find V2. So P1 V1 over V2 is equal to P2. By putting this over P2, we will get P1 V1 over V2 minus P1. So which one is the right option? C. C is the right option. P1 V1 divided by V2 minus P1. Question number 16. A constant force pulls a block of weight W up to the slope. How much work is done by the force F? Work is equal to force multiplied by distance traveled in the direction of the force. Our force F is in this direction and the distance traveled in this direction is equal to this L. So our work will be equal to force multiplied by L. Work is force multiplied by distance traveled in the direction of the force. The input power of a motor is 12 watt. The motor wastes 590 joules of energy in 1 minute. What is the efficiency of the motor? So first of all, I am going to find the power wasted by our motor. So it will be power is equal to work or energy by time. Energy by time. And it will be equal to 590 divided by 60. Why 60? Because it is 1 minute and 1 minute equal to 60 seconds. And it is 59 divided by 6. 59 divided by 6, which will be equal to 9.83. Power is equal to 9.83 watt. This is the power utilized. No, this is the power wasted. So utilized power will be equal to 12 minus 9.83 and it will be equal to 2.17. So useful power will be equal to 2.17. So efficiency is equal to useful power divided by total power multiplied by 100. So it will be equal to 2.17 divided by 12 multiplied by 100. 2.17 divided by 12 multiplied by 100 and it will be equal to 18.03. So 18% is our right answer. Some students get confused. They use this power, but this power is not useful power. This is the wasted power. So we are not going to use it because in efficiency we use useful power divided by total power multiplied by 100. Electric motor has an efficiency of about 90% when used in an electric train. Which form of wasted energies are produced? When our electric train moves, it produces two types of wastage. One is thermal and the other one is sound. So D is the right option. There will be no chemical wastage in the electric motor. What is the unit of power? Power is equal to energy by time, where energy's unit is joule and time unit is second. So it will be joule per second. Question number 20. The diagram represents 4 thermometers. Which thermometer has the greatest sensitivity and which thermometer has the greatest range? For sensitivity, we can say that a thermometer is more sensitive. It expands more for less temperature. From from figure we can see that the distance for 5 degrees centigrade for Q is larger than all other, because for 5 degrees centigrade it is equal to this distance. For 5 P is smaller than Q. For 5 it will be very small, because 0 to 50 degree when we divide it into a portion, then 5 will be very small, and 100 to 140 5 will be a little higher than this one, but it is also smaller than Q. So Q is the most sensitive one. And now the greatest range. Greatest range 25 minus 0 25 is the range of the P. 40 minus 30 10 is the range of Q. 250 minus 0 250 is the range of R. 300 minus 100 and 200 is the range of S. So for highest range we are going to mark R. For the greatest sensitivity Q, and for the higher range R. So C is the right option, Q and R. Question number 21. Air is trapped in the metal cylinder by a piston. The piston is free to move and the trapped air is at atmospheric pressure. So the trapped air inside is at atmospheric pressure. The cylinder is in hot water. The cylinder is taken out of the water and left to cool. What happened to the mass of the air in the cylinder and the pressure as it cooled? As we know that there is atmospheric pressure inside and outside, so due to which there will be no change in the pressure. There will be no change in the pressure, and we know that no mass move outside the piston, so there will be no change in mass as well. So mass does not change and pressure of air does not change, because pressure of air remain same, because there is atmospheric pressure outside and inside of the cylinder. A mirror is placed in the path of a ray of light. Incident ray making angle 40 degree, reflected ray. Through which angle does the direction of the ray of light changes? Many students mark A as the answer, which is wrong. Here you are asked about the change in direction. So if this is 40, then this should be equal to 50, because with the mirror the normal is at 90 degree. So that one is 40 refracted angle, so the other one will be equal to 50, and it will also be equal to 50 on this side, and total will be equal to 180. Now this is the ray path, but it deviates from here and moves to the reflected path. What is the direction of the ray? At which angle the direction of the ray changes? It changes to 100 degrees, because it traveled 100 previous than the original path. So its angle changes about 100 degrees. Question number 23. A ray of light in water is refracted at the surface or into air. The diagram shows the angle of incidence and the angle of refraction. Sorry, which diagram show? So this will be your angle of incidence and this should be your angle of refraction, because both the angle should be with the normal. So A is the right option. Question number 24. A thin converging lens form a real focus image of the object as shown. What is distance is equal to the focal length of the lens? The focal length is the distance between the focal point and the center of the curvature. So it will be equal to Lx. So B is the right option. Which ray diagram show the action of diverging lens? The diverging lens never converges. So B is the wrong option. When our ray move from the diverging lens, it move like this. If our ray move backward from this one, it will move like this one, and same for this one. So D is the right option, because as the ray move from our lens, they diverges. So the diverging rays move in a straight line after moving from the lens. Many devices produce electromagnetic waves when operating. Which device produces electromagnetic wave of the higher frequency? Mobile phone, sunbed, television controller or toaster? I know that it is sunbed, because for sunbed we use ultraviolet radiations, and ultraviolet radiations has the highest energy, and the most higher energy has the most higher frequency. So sunbed is the right option. Which two frequencies are both outside the range of audible frequency for a healthy human ear? Healthy human ear can hear the frequency between 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, or you can say that 20 kilohertz. For first one, 2 Hz is outside, but 5 Hz is inside the audible range. For second one, 2 Hz and 25 kHz both are outside the range. So B is the right option. Let's check the other one. 25 Hz is in the audible range, but 25 kHz is not in the audible range. For the same for the D, 500 Hz is audible range, but 25 kHz is not in the audible range. Question number 28. Sound waves are displayed as a trace on the screen of the oscilloscope. Which trace show that the sound that become quieter with a higher pitch? Become quieter. So amplitude decreases. So amplitude decreases for the B and for the C. Amplitude decreases because it become quieter, and higher pitch mean higher frequency. Here frequency is higher previously, but not after the sound become quieter. But in C, previously the frequency is low, but when our sound become quieter, its frequency increases. So higher will be pitch. So C is the right option. The north pole of a permanent magnet is placed in turn close to a piece of iron, the S pole of another magnet, and a piece of copper. Which objects are attracted to north pole of the permanent magnet? We know that iron is going to be attracted. South pole is also going to be attracted, because north and south pole attract each other. But the copper is not going to be attracted by the permanent magnet. So A is the right option. 4 plotting compasses are placed near a bar magnet. Ignore any effect of the earth magnetic field. One compass appear like this one. What is the possible position of the compass? For a compass, the arrowhead is toward south and the tail is toward north. So for A, it will be like this one, arrowhead toward south and tail toward north. For B, the tail is toward north and arrowhead is away from north. For C, it will be like this one, tail toward north and head toward south. For D, it is like A. So C is the right option, in which our compass is same as asked in the question. Question number 31. Two oppositely charged plastic rods are placed next to each other. Which rod describe and explain how the rod moves? We know that they are oppositely charged and opposite charges attract each other. So they move toward each other, and explanation is that because opposite charge attract each other. So C is the right option. Towards each other, opposite charges attract. A meter that measures the rate of flow of charge in a resistor is placed in a circuit. What is name of this meter and how is connected to the resistor? So rate of flow of charges is called current. For the measurement of current, we are going to use ammeter. So ammeter is the right option, and we know that ammeter is always connected in series. So B is the right option. Which device is used to convert electrical energy into kinetic energy? Iron convert electrical energy into heat. Kettle also convert electrical energy into heat. Lamp convert electrical energy into light and heat. Motor convert electrical energy into kinetic energy because it is used to move the body. What is fuse used in electrical appliances? Why? To earth the appliance? No. For that purpose we use earth wire. To protect the appliance? Yes. To change the power of the appliance? No. To change the voltage supplied to the appliance? No. So B is the right option. A coil of wire is rotated at a constant rate between the poles of a U-shaped magnet. The two ends of the coil are connected to slip rings. These are not with the split rings, these are with the slip rings. So which diagram show how the voltage between the slip ring varies? For the slip ring, the shape of our graph will be sinusoidal, which is C. Question 36. Which statement about a transformer is correct? The changing magnetic field in the transformer induces an EMF in the secondary coil. Yes. We change the magnetic field of the transformer in the primary coil and it induced an EMF in the secondary coil. The core of the transformer is made of iron because iron is good conductor. No. The transformer convert alternating current to direct current? No, because transformer is not going to convert alternating current to direct current. It just increase or decrease the value of voltage. The transformer convert direct current to alternating current? No. So A is the right option. Question 37. Three types of radiation emitted by unstable nuclei are helium nuclei, short wavelength electromagnetic waves, and electrons. What are these three types of radiation? Helium nuclei are called alpha particles. Short wavelength electromagnetic waves are called gamma particles, and electrons are called as beta particles. So A is the right option, in which helium nuclei alpha particle, electromagnetic wave gamma particles or gamma waves, or electrons are beta particles. The diagram shows a relay used to switch on an electric motor. A student make 5 statements to explain how the relay switches on the electric motor. The statements are not in correct order. First statement is the current in the coil magnetizes the magnet. The second one is the armature closes the contact. Third one is the current in the secondary circuit makes the motor run. Number 4, the electromagnet attracts the iron armature. Number 5, the switch S in the primary circuit is closed. So we know that first of all we are going to close the switch S. So fifth one is the first one. Then it is going to magnetize this coil. So current in the coil magnetize the electromagnet. So this one is the second one. Then iron armature is attracted toward the electromagnet. So fourth one is the third one. Then the contacts, the armature closes the contact. This one is fourth one. And the last one, the current in the secondary circuit makes to run the motor. Then this current, when this closes, the current is going to flow and electric motor going to be started. So 5, 1, first of all fifth, then 1, then 4, then 2, then 3. So D is the right option. Question number 39. Different radioactive emission have different characteristics. A student lists the following characteristics of an alpha particle. It is positive charge, yes. It has high penetrating ability, no. Its penetrating ability is less than beta and gamma. It is a component of electromagnetic spectrum, no. For the gamma particles are the component of electromagnetic spectrum. So for this one, which characteristics are correct? Only P is correct. A wooden object is believed to be 6,000 years old. Which isotope found in the object is used to determine the age of the object? We are going to use carbon, and for carbon dating we are going to use carbon 14. Carbon 14 is the isotope which are used to determine the age of the object.